There is a silent signal that many men carry for months, sometimes years, without realizing it's directly connected to low testosterone. It starts slowly, almost imperceptibly, until one day you look in the mirror and feel that something has changed, but you can't quite tell what it is. It's as if your energy, your drive, and even your confidence are being drained without any clear explanation. Most men believe it's just stress, a heavy routine, or age. But when you connect the dots, you realize this symptom is the beginning of a domino effect inside the body. And ignoring it can cost far more than you imagine. And that's exactly why today you're going to learn how to identify these hidden signs before they completely affect your physical, mental, and sexual performance. Pay close attention, because throughout this video, each topic will clarify things you may have always considered normal, but that should never be ignored. And the most important part, it doesn't matter if you're 25 or 55, low testosterone can silently impact your daily life without warning. In the next topic, I'll tell you directly what's really happening inside your body. You'll understand why so many men fail to recognize the symptoms and end up suffering in silence. Ready to see yourself in some of these signs? What low testosterone really is and why you need to act now. Testosterone is the hormone that supports almost everything that makes you feel like a man: strength, sex drive, energy, motivation, focus, and even your daily mood. When it drops, the entire body becomes unbalanced, but the problem is that this decline rarely appears in an obvious way. Instead, it shows up through small signs that you gradually start to normalize over time. That's exactly why so many men delay seeking help. They believe they're just tired, stressed, or overwhelmed. But in reality, the body is screaming for attention, and you don't notice. Understanding this from the start is essential, because the earlier you identify the signs, the easier it is to fix the problem. Low testosterone isn't just an inconvenience. It affects your vitality, your motivation to train, your sexual performance, and even your ability to think clearly. If you feel like you're not the same anymore, like you've lost some of your inner strength, there's a strong chance your hormone levels are involved. And now that you know this, the upcoming symptoms will make even more sense. Before we continue, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe. That ensures you keep receiving content that can genuinely improve your male health. Symptom 1. The drop in energy you blame on daily exhaustion. A decline in energy is one of the first signs of low testosterone, but it's almost always blamed on a busy routine. You wake up already tired, drag yourself through the day, and by nighttime you feel completely drained. Many men think it's normal, blaming work, traffic, or age, but the body is showing that something deeper is happening. Testosterone plays a direct role in vitality, and when it drops, it's as if the fuel that powers your day-to-day life starts to run out. This constant exhaustion isn't just physical, it also affects your mental drive. The dangerous part is that this lack of energy builds up in a cascading effect. First, you stop training with the same intensity, then you start avoiding activities that used to be easy, and before you know it, you're living on autopilot. This sensation of carrying an invisible weight should be a major warning sign. The body doesn't shut down overnight for no reason. And in the next topic, you'll understand how this drop in energy directly affects your sex life, something many men only notice when the impact is already significant. Symptom 2. The silent loss of libido that many ignore. Loss of libido usually appears subtly, which is why so many men take a long time to notice it. At first, sexual desire drops occasionally, then those moments become more frequent, and when you finally realize it, your intimate life is no longer the same. The most important point is that this has nothing to do with lack of interest in your partner or emotional problems. In most cases, it is a direct result of declining testosterone, the hormone responsible for triggering desire. When it fails, it feels like part of your masculine identity has been dimmed. This symptom affects not only sexual life, but also self-confidence. Many men start avoiding intimacy out of embarrassment, fear of underperforming, or assuming it's just a phase. But the longer you ignore it, the harder it becomes to recover your body's natural rhythm. The good news is that recognizing this sign early helps prevent it from becoming a bigger issue. And in the next topic, you'll discover a symptom that directly affects your emotional stability, something many don't realize is linked to testosterone. Symptom 3. Mood changes that go unnoticed. Mood changes caused by low testosterone are extremely tricky because they appear almost imperceptibly. You start getting annoyed by small things, experience bursts of impatience that don't match your usual behavior, and sometimes feel an unexplained sense of sadness. Many men think it's just stress or too many responsibilities, but the brain is directly affected by the lack of this hormone. Testosterone influences neurotransmitters linked to well-being, motivation, and emotional control. When it drops, your mental stability weakens without you noticing. Over time, these changes affect your relationships, your performance at work, and even your self-image. You feel off balance, but you can't identify the real cause. This is the kind of symptom that can be ignored for months until someone close points out that you're no longer the same. That warning is valuable because it opens the door to understanding the true cause. In the next topic, you'll see how low testosterone can even impact your body, even when you think you're doing everything right to stay in shape. Before continuing, hit the like button and subscribe to keep receiving content that strengthens your health and male performance. Symptom 4. Loss of muscle mass even while training. When testosterone drops, your body loses the ability to maintain and build muscle the way it used to. That's why many men start noticing that their workouts don't hit the same. The pump fades quickly and strength doesn't improve. Even following the same training routine, muscle growth slows down or stops. This happens because testosterone is essential for protein synthesis and muscle tissue stimulation. Without proper levels, the body works at a disadvantage, making every workout feel like double the effort for half the results. Over time, this subtle loss of muscle becomes visible in the mirror: less dense arms, a flatter chest, and softer legs. Many think it's just natural aging, but in reality, it's a clear sign of hormonal imbalance. The key is recognizing this symptom before it evolves into weakness and reduced performance. In the next topic, you'll understand how low testosterone also affects fat accumulation, especially in the area that bothers most men, the abdomen. Symptom 5. Unexplained abdominal fat gain. Increasing belly fat is one of the most frustrating signs of low testosterone because it shows up even when you maintain a balanced diet and regular training. The abdominal area begins to store fat persistently, making definition harder and creating a constant feeling of bloating. This happens because testosterone plays a direct role in metabolism and fat distribution. When it drops, your body stores fat more easily, especially in the abdominal region, which is highly sensitive to hormonal changes. Beyond aesthetics, this fat accumulation affects your overall health, increasing inflammation and further reducing hormone levels, creating a difficult cycle to break. Many men try to fix it with diet or exercise alone, but without addressing the hormonal cause, progress is always limited. The good news is that recognizing this symptom early helps break this cycle and restore your body composition. And in the next topic, you'll see how this hormone also affects your ability to think clearly and stay focused, something few people associate with testosterone. Symptom 6. Trouble concentrating and mental fog. When testosterone levels begin to drop, the brain feels it directly. Your ability to focus decreases, simple tasks start taking longer, and you notice a mental slowness that wasn't there before. Many men describe this as a constant fog that affects decision-making, productivity, and even memory. Testosterone acts in areas of the brain responsible for cognitive clarity, and when levels drop, mental sharpness fades. It's common to lose your train of thought, forget recent commitments, or struggle to stay focused on everyday tasks. This symptom is particularly harmful because it affects both personal and professional life. Men start feeling less efficient, less motivated, and more frustrated with themselves, without realizing the problem is hormonal. As this mental fog persists, even activities you enjoy start feeling exhausting. But when you identify this sign, you open the door to recovering not only focus, but also mental confidence. And in the next topic, you'll see a symptom that affects your quality of life at night, one many ignore because they think it's insignificant. Before continuing, if this content is helping you, like the video and subscribe to keep receiving content that strengthens your male health. Symptom 7. Poor sleep quality and incomplete recovery. Low testosterone directly affects your sleep quality, even if you sleep the same number of hours as always. Many men start waking up in the middle of the night for no reason, struggle to reach deep sleep stages, or wake up feeling unrefreshed. This happens because testosterone is tied to the body's regeneration process during sleep. When it's low, the body can't recover the same way, leaving you feeling one step behind no matter how much you rest. Over time, this lack of true rest creates a dangerous cycle. Poor sleep lowers testosterone even more, which then worsens your sleep again. It's a domino effect that affects energy, mood, sexual performance, and even decision-making. Most men only notice when waking up tired becomes routine, but recognizing this sign now is essential to breaking the cycle. And in the next topic, you'll understand the real consequences of ignoring all these symptoms and how this impacts your health long term. The consequences of ignoring these signs and the real impact on the male body. Ignoring the signs of low testosterone won't make them go away. It actually allows them to intensify and create even bigger problems. When hormone levels stay low for too long, the risk of developing insulin resistance, visceral fat accumulation, and even cardiovascular disease rises significantly. In addition, continually low testosterone harms strength, reduces recovery ability, and accelerates muscle loss, making the body age faster than it should. The emotional impact also increases, affecting motivation and sense of purpose. Over the months, these symptoms stop being just annoyances and start deeply compromising quality of life. Your productivity drops, your self-esteem declines, and your sexual life suffers. Many men only seek help when the situation is already advanced, when fatigue is constant and discouragement takes over. But recognizing this scenario now can prevent you from reaching that point. And in the next topic, you'll learn how to identify early if you're at risk, before the situation becomes harder to reverse. How to identify if you're at risk before symptoms worsen. Identifying low testosterone early requires paying attention to your own body. You don't need to wait for severe symptoms. In fact, the first signs are usually subtle, small mood changes, persistent fatigue, or a slight decrease in sexual performance. Being honest about these indicators is the first step toward understanding whether something is off. Many men believe only lab tests can reveal the problem, but the body always signals before that, and recognizing these signs puts you ahead in prevention. It's also important to look at your lifestyle. Poor sleep, constant stress, overwork, or a lack of physical activity can speed up hormonal decline. The combination of physical and behavioral symptoms paints a very clear picture. And when you connect these dots, it becomes obvious whether there's a real risk of low testosterone. Seeking medical evaluation early prevents complications and opens the door to simple and effective treatments. If you're noticing some of these signs, don't ignore them. And make sure to subscribe and leave a like to keep receiving content that helps you restore your energy and male health. The essential step to reclaim your male health. Getting this far already shows that you're trying to understand your body consciously, and that is essential for restoring your health and vitality. Low testosterone isn't a sign of weakness, nor a problem limited to older men. It can affect any age group, and when ignored, it impacts every area of your life: energy, mood, focus, physical performance, and sexual health. But when you recognize the signs, you take back control. And that's what separates men who suffer in silence from those who solve the problem decisively. The next step is simple. Pay attention to your body. Recognize these 7 symptoms and seek professional help when necessary. Don't wait for things to get worse before taking action. A proper evaluation can completely transform your well-being and give you back what you feel you've lost over the years. If you've reached the end, congratulations. It shows you care about your male health. Keep following the channel for more content that helps you evolve every day. And remember, taking care of your testosterone is taking care of everything that makes you feel your best.